Hello everybody. Today we will talk about Estonia in brief. Estonia, officially the Republic of Estonia, is a country in Northern Europe. It is bordered to the north by the Gulf of Finland with Finland on the other side, to the west by the Baltic Sea with Sweden on the other side, to the south by Latvia 343 kilometers, and to the east by Lake Peipus and Russia 338.6 kilometers. The territory of Estonia consists of a mainland and 2,222 islands in the Baltic Sea, covering a total area of 45,227 square kilometers, water 2,839 square kilometers, land area 42,388 square kilometers, and is influenced by a humid continental climate. The official language of the country, Estonian, is the second most spoken Finnic language. The flag. The national flag of Estonia is a tricolour featuring three equal horizontal bands of blue top, black, and white. Language. Estonian is closely related to Finnish and belongs to the Finnic branch of the Uralic language family. Alongside Finnish, Hungarian and Maltese, Estonian is one of the four official languages of European Union that is not of an Indo-European origin. Despite some overlaps in the vocabulary due to borrowings, in terms of its origin, Estonian and Finnish are not related to their nearest geographical neighbors, Swedish, Latvian, and Russian, which are all Indo-European languages. Population. Estonia has some 1,475,000 inhabitants. Throughout Estonia's modern history, people from several ethnic groups have entered the country as immigrants to work in the industrial sector. The last major influx of immigrants, primarily ethnic Russians sent to live in Estonia during the Soviet era, occurred after World War II. Ethnic groups present in Estonia include 64% Estonian, 29% Russian-speaking, 3% Ukrainians, and 2% Belarusians. The urban population of Estonia is 71% of the total population, according to the census. Tallinn is the largest city with 420,470 residents, followed by Tartu with 101,901, and Narva with 75,211. Residents of Tallinn are 47.4% Estonian and 41.2% Russian. The rural population, including the islands, is 87% Estonian. There is no state religion in Estonia. Currently, major denominations include Lutheran, Russian Orthodox, Baptist, and Catholic. The small Jewish community consists mainly of native Russian speakers. History. After 7 centuries of German, Danish, Swedish, Polish, and Russian rule, Estonia attained independence in 1918. Forcefully annexed into the USSR in 1940, it regained independence in 1991 through its Singing Revolution, a non-violent revolution that overthrew an initially violent occupation. Since the last Russian troops left in 1994, Estonia moved to promote economic and political ties with Western Europe. It is now one of the more prosperous former communist states, enjoying a high-tech environment, an open and liberal economy and a transparent government system. On the other hand, it is faced with a fairly low, but growing, GDP per capita in a European Union context, as well as a very low birth rate, which is creating a slight population decline. Between 1991 to 2007, the country saw rapid economic expansion, leading it to be among one of the wealthiest and the most developed of the former Soviet republics. However, its economy was badly damaged during the ongoing global recession, although more recently, it has been recovering quickly. In 2011, the euro was adopted as the official currency. Since its accession to the EU, Estonia is becoming one of the most popular destinations in northeastern Europe, with EU highest 30% growth in the number of visitors in 2004, according to Eurostat. Foreign relations. Estonia was a member of the League of Nations from the 22nd of September 1921, and became a member of the United Nations on the 17th of September 1991. Since restoration of independence, Estonia has pursued close relations with the Western countries, and has been member of NATO since the 29th of March 2004, as well as the European Union since the 1st of May 2004. In 2007, Estonia joined the Schengen area, and in 2011 the Eurozone. The European Union Agency for Large-Scale IT Systems is based in Tallinn, which started operations at the end of 2012. Estonia held the presidency of the Council of the European Union in the second half of 2017. Since the early 1990s, Estonia has been involved in active trilateral Baltic states cooperation with Latvia and Lithuania, and Nordic-Baltic cooperation with the Nordic countries. The Baltic Council is the joint forum of the Interparliamentary Baltic Assembly and the Intergovernmental Baltic Council of Ministers. Estonia has built close relationship with the Nordic countries, especially Finland and Sweden, and is a member of Nordic-Baltic 8 (NB8), uniting Nordic and Baltic countries. Joint Nordic-Baltic projects include the education program Nord Plus and mobility programs for business and industry and for public administration. The Nordic Council of Ministers has an office in Tallinn with the subsidiaries in Tartu and Narva. The Baltic states are members of Nordic Investment Bank, European Union's Nordic Battle Group, and in 2011 were invited to cooperate with NORDEFCO in selected activities. Other Estonian international organization memberships include OECD, OSCE, WTO, IMF, and Council of the Baltic Sea States. Relations with Russia remain generally cold, although there is some practical cooperation. In 2018, Estonia was one of the founding members of the new Hanseatic League, an intra-EU grouping of Northern European member states focused around matters of fiscal policy. Military. The military of Estonia is based upon the Estonian Defence Forces, which is the name of the unified armed forces of the Republic, with Maavägi Army, Merevägi Navy, Õhuvägi Air Force, and a paramilitary National Guard organization Kaitseliit Defence League. The Estonian national defense policy aim is to guarantee the preservation of the independence and sovereignty of the state, the integrity of its land, territorial waters, airspace and its constitutional order. Current strategic goals are to defend the country's interests, develop the armed forces for interoperability with other NATO and EU member forces, and participation in NATO missions. The current national military service, Estonian Ejāteenistus, is compulsory for men between 18 and 28, and conscripts serve 8-month to 11-month tours of duty depending on the army branch they serve in. Estonia has retained conscription unlike Latvia and Lithuania, and has no plan to transition to a professional army. In 2008, annual military spending reached 1.85% of GDP, or 5 billion kroons, and was expected to continue to increase until 2010, when a 2.0% level was anticipated. Estonia cooperates with Latvia and Lithuania in several trilateral Baltic defense cooperation initiatives, including Baltic Battalion, BALT-BAT, Baltic Naval Squadron, BALTRON, Baltic Air Surveillance Network, BALTNET, and joint military educational institutions such as the Baltic Defence College in Tartu. Future cooperation will include sharing of national infrastructures for training purposes and specialization of training areas, BALTTRAIN, and collective formation of battalion-sized contingents for use in the NATO Rapid Response Force. In January 2011, the Baltic states were invited to join NORDEFCO, the defense framework of the Nordic countries. Economy. Before the Second World War, Estonia's economy was based on agriculture, but there was a significant knowledge sector, with the university city of Tartu known for scientific contributions, and a growing industrial sector, similar to that of neighboring Finland. Products, such as butter, milk, and cheese were widely known in the West European markets. The main markets were Germany and the United Kingdom, and only 3% of all commerce was with the neighboring USSR. Estonia and Finland had a relatively similar standard of living. After Estonia moved away from communism in the late 1980s, restored its independence in 1991 and became a market economy, it emerged as a pioneer in the global economy. In 1992, the country adopted the Estonian krone as its own currency, and this greatly stabilized the economy. In 1994, it became one of the first countries in the world to adopt a flat tax, with a uniform rate of 26% regardless of personal income. Estonia received more foreign investment per capita in the second half of the 1990s than any other country in Central and Eastern Europe. Between 2005 and 2008, the personal income tax rate was reduced from 26% to 21% in several steps. The country has been quickly catching up with the EU-15, its GDP per capita having grown from 34.8% of the EU-15 average in 1996 to 65% in 2007, similar to that of Central European countries. It is already rated a high-income country by the World Bank. The GDP (PPP) per capita of the country, a good indicator of wealth, was $23,631 in 2012 according to the World Bank, between that of Portugal and Lithuania, but below that of long-time EU members such as Greece or Spain. Because of its economic performance after the Soviet breakup, Estonia has been termed one of the Baltic Tigers. In 2008, Estonia was ranked 12th of 162 countries in the Index of Economic Freedom 2008, the best of any former Soviet republic. The same year, the country was at the bottom of the list of European states by labor market freedom, but the government is drafting improvements. For Estonia, the late 2000s recession was comparatively easier to weather, because Estonia's budget has consistently been kept balanced, and this meant that Estonia's public debt relative to the country's GDP has remained one of the lowest in Europe. The economy recovered in 2010. On the 1st of January 2011, Estonia joined the euro, and became the first ex-Soviet republic to join the eurozone. In 2013, the World Bank Group rated Estonia as 21st on the Ease of Doing Business Index.